Are you interested in anti-aging but don't like spending a fortune? Today I'm going to talk about 12 everyday life habits that you can do to support anti-aging that fit very easily into your normal routine and don't cost a penny. And thanks for tuning in. On this channel, we talk about beauty, lifestyle, fashion, all with an affordable lens. If those topics interest you and you like to keep things real and fun and lighthearted, please consider subscribing down below and hitting that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my uploads. Today, we're getting into the 12 things that I incorporate into my daily routine that promote an anti-aging lifestyle. These are going to be more proactive things that you can do versus reactive. And really what I mean by that is to prevent wrinkles and aging from happening in the first place. All right, the first overall category we're going to talk about is squinting. So my first anti-aging tip, when you're going to bed at night, put your phone all the way on dim so that you aren't squinting, particularly if you use your phone to wake up in the morning. It's a really bright light, similar to like a bathroom light in the middle of the night, and you're definitely going to squint if you look at your phone. My second tip is to use sunglasses every single time you go outside, maybe unless it's at night or raining or whatever. But use them even on a cloudy day because the area around our eyes is really susceptible to aging because the skin there is so much thinner than the rest of our face and body that it's going to likely age the quickest. So any protection that you can give that skin around your eye is going to serve you well in the long run. So particularly if you have larger sunglasses, you will have that area around your eye completely protected from the sun each time you go outside. Third tip, we often have to use the restroom, right, in the middle of the night. I suggest not just turning the light on because when you do, you're likely to cause squinting. If you do have to turn the light on, I often will do something like this. I will just walk in like this, turn the light on, and then at least I have a little bit of a shield so that I'm not squinting. And the fourth tip is probably not that surprising. It's don't squint under any circumstances. So if I find myself in a situation where I am outside and I don't have sunglasses, I will do, this situation. I will find myself something to stand underneath. The whole idea behind not squinting is it's literally causing a wrinkle every single time you do it. So of course, over time, your skin isn't going to be able to bounce back to the normal state anymore, and that wrinkle is just going to be embedded in there. So if you can prevent that motion in the first place, it's going to at least help prevent that wrinkle from forming or deepening. My fifth tip, which is the last in the squinting section, is to be aware of your facial movements. This one's going to sound a little bit odd, but I know for me personally, in the past, I had been doing a facial movement that was very repetitive just when I was, emoting to speak in a normal conversation. And again, it was that repetitive motion that was starting to notice some fine lines in the middle of my forehead. We don't always realize the type of facial expressions that we're making and how those could be promoting wrinkles. If you think this sounds super shallow, especially my last point, I totally get it. I understand. I think it's just a matter of how committed you want to be to preventing wrinkles in the first place. I look at it as if it's a daily habit. I'm certainly not telling you not to emote facial expression in your face, but if it is something that you can get a handle of, then I would at least give it a try. In my opinion, it's a heck of a lot better to prevent a wrinkle as long as possible than to actually have to deal with it once it's deeply set in and they're pretty much going forward. The next category of tips has to do with sleeping. Tip number 6 has to do with sleeping on your back. So I understand that a lot of us aren't back sleepers, but if you can become a back sleeper, that is going to help you than probably so many expensive creams that you could buy for anti-aging. I know that it's hard to train yourself to sleep on your back, but I will say this, if you are someone that can't seem to fall asleep on your back, but you always wake up on your back, that is a sign that you are comfortable sleeping on your back, and it's at least worth the effort to try to train yourself to fall asleep on your back. That's actually what I did, and it did take a little while to get used to, but now I'm able to fall asleep on my back every single night, and I really stay in the same sleeping position all night long, because what I used to do is fall asleep on my stomach and then wake up on my back. So it kind of eliminates all of that. There is a pillow here that you can purchase that will help you sleep on your back, and it promotes back sleeping because it essentially encapsulates your head, if you will, between these two bumpers, and it promotes back sleeping. If you are someone that absolutely doesn't even wake up on your back, knows you can't fall asleep on your back, there are certain pillows that you can buy specifically for side sleeping that are better for your face. If you think about it, every time you're smushing your face into a pillow, you're likely just making a wrinkle that probably lasts all night long. And therefore, by sleeping on your back, you're able to completely prevent that from happening. My 7th tip is to actually sleep a little bit elevated. So I have a bed wedge that I sleep on. You certainly don't have to buy a wedge, but you could even prop yourself up with pillows. So this does a few things. It allows fluids and whatnot to drain from your face overnight so that you don't wake up with those swollen eyes and looking tired and puffy. It helps with natural drainage. And what else it does is it also promotes back sleeping. So if you think about it, if you're there perched on your wedge while you're sleeping at night, it's going to be harder for you to kind of ratchet around, be a slide sleeper, belly sleeper. I again would say if you don't like back sleeping, try these two things and you might find yourself being able to convert to a back sleeper. Before we continue on with my last tips, I just wanted to quickly say, if you're finding this information helpful, I would love if you could give the video a like and consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. That way we can be friends and it's much easier to find each other after this video. Tell us so that we know in the comments what are some of the things that you do as everyday habits to support an anti-aging lifestyle without spending a lot of money to do so. I'd love to hear them in the comments. Tip number 8 is how we all hold our phones. So when you're going to hold your phone, if you hold it up like this, if you notice, you're not going to do that dreaded tech neck situation where not only does your neck hurt over time, but it also promotes wrinkling in your neck. So try just holding your phone up a little bit. My 9th tip is something along those lines where a lot of us have laptops, and I know especially right now a lot of us are working from home, and we're often crouched down on our laptop, kind of doing the same thing, doing the whole tech neck thing. I would advise you to get a riser for your laptop, and you don't even have to buy one. You can use a shoebox, you could use a storage bin that you kind of flip upside down. I would just encourage you to somehow elevate your computer, and with as many of us that are now on video calls all the time, this is a much better angle as well for your viewers to be able to chat with you. Otherwise, sometimes it feels like they're below you looking at your neck. So this is definitely a good one to try out. My 10th tip is the very predictable drink more water for a very simple reason. If you think about a raisin or a grape, one is very well hydrated while the other one isn't. So when you have a lot of water consumption, you are going to essentially be plumping your skin from the inside out. My 11th and 12th tip kind of go together, and that is to moisturize daily and to wear SPF daily. If you don't want a crazy, high maintenance, whatever skincare routine, at minimum, just moisturize your skin and put sunscreen on every single day, and you'll be ahead of most by doing those two simple tips. If you're interested in learning more about the Realfluencer movement, please head to my website. Come visit me on Instagram at Jen the Realfluencer. And please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. That way you never miss a future upload. And I will see you soon. Filming first video. Hang out with me till the end is when you're going to bed, when you're going, if you're interested in creep up on our faces. Ways. Hi, I'm on video. You don't need me, do you? Okay. Vest. No. Here we go. Any of these